Hi everyone, this is MD Zilur Rahman, my student at WHZ2102, and here is all of my friends, they will describe themselves.
Hi, this is Muhammad Fahim Islam. My student ID is PFEC2076.
Hi, I am Muhammad Rafiqul Islam. My student ID is WHZ2275.
This is Mustafa Hanaf Tahmid. My ID is EMV21710.
Hello everyone, this is Khalid Hassan Shahid. My student ID is DY22413.
So today we are going to talk about Caltex and Willemstedt dredging, the case study, and I'm going to talk about the facts, what happened in 1976. So there was a 4 company involved in that case. First one is Australian Oil Refinery Company. Second one, Willemstedt dredging. Third one was DECA, and the fourth one is Caltex. And what happened was, so DECA used to supply the equipments for the dredging, and then Willemstedt used to dredge the pipeline. And Caltex, they took the oil from the pipeline by the oil refinery company, Australian Oil Refinery Company. So, and then there was a damage in the pipeline, and then Australian Refinery Company has to pay the extra transport cost for the transport the oil, and as well the Caltex also, they had to pay extra money for transport the oil from point A to point B. So this was the fact what happened in 1976. Now my friend who is going to talk about the issues for him.
Hi, I'm going to talk about the issues. There were 3 issues to represent before the court for his consideration. The first issue, which across was the in rem across to so concerned, and the question raised why the trial judge erred while is refused in entering judgment as against the master. The second issue was regarding DECA Survey Australia Limited, the equipment supplier, and the question before the court was whether there was contributory negligence on the part of DECA, which actually rendered the grave economic loss. The third issue was concerning Caltex, and the question so faced by the court was whether Caltex have had any rights towards the recovery of the losses so suffered caused by the defendant concerned. So my friend will gonna explain about the arguments and the listening.
Hi, I am Muhammad Rafiqul Islam. I am going to talk about the arguments and holding of this case. Arguments. The contention of the plaintiff was that of carelessness, negligence, and unprofessional conduct on part of those who were in charge of the dredge, but no negligence claim was against the Captain Henneman and Captain D. Wade. Holding. The High Court of Australia held that although there was no loss on property, but the damage was so caused by the defendant rendered the plaintiff to suffer significant economic loss, which arose due to the additional cost to sustain as the transportation cost. The court, as regard to first issue, held in favor to the masters, and Caltex was favored in the second issue. For the third issue, recovery was rendered, and in furtherance to the court reasoned that Australian Oil Refining Limited, based on the circumstance, cannot be liable under the agreement for the failure on their part to deliver by pipeline. Next, my friend Khalilur Rahman is coming to describe the critical analysis of this case.
Hi, I'm going to talk about the critical analysis. We divided the critical analysis in 2 parts. My friend, he's going to talk about the critical analysis, the rest of them. I'm going to talk about the first part of the critical analysis. In this in this case, the DECA was the main defendant, and DECA is solely responsible for most of the trouble made in this case, because DECA, who was responsible to provide the equipments for the dredging company Willemstedt, and DECA also draw the navigation and draw the line how they're gonna dredge the pipe. And in this matter, DECA failed to recognize the pipe was there. They recognized, but they failed to notice the pipe was there. That's why when the dredging company, Willemstedt, they start dredging, they follow the instruction of DECA, which was wrong information, and they caused a, and it was the pipe was damaged, and because of due to that damage, there's the Austrian oil refining company, they had to transport that oil from point A to point B, and and also the same pipe was used by Caltex Oil. So both of the company had losses from this damage of the pipe, and both suffered very critical huge loss. And so the oil refining company, they had to transport from the oil from point A to point B, and also the Caltex Oil company, they had to transport the oil from Austrian Oil Recovery Company. So my friend is going to discuss about the rest of the critical analysis.
Hello, I'll be talking about the second part of the critical analysis. As one of my group members, they state about the facts. They talk about the details about the incident, what happened, who suffered, what not. And I'm going to talk about specifically about how this incident occurred on that night. To be more detailed and brief, I'm gonna say that it happened at night, and the 25th to 26th of October, a ship which was operated by DECAS and under Captain Heinemann and his crew, and usually ship has logbooks and charts and stuff, so they may avoid events that is not going to do them very good. There was a chart which shows that when they were dredging, there was a chart that was showing that there was a pipeline that's not to be any damaged by the dredging that this ship is doing, and there was a critical analysis. I'm sorry, pardon me. There was a fault in the drawing. The chart, which actually used to show where the pipeline is, but since there was wrong information, so the crew didn't realize that they were actually damaging the pipe, and they actually ended up damaging 30 feet of pipe, and because of that there was a damage, and because of that the pipe was no good. And like my brother said before, the pipe, there was problem for the transportation and things. And if we keep that in mind, we can say that if they had the proper information and proper guideline, even though they had the equipment and machineries, this situation could have been avoided if they had proper knowledge about the whereabouts of the pipe, and if they follow the correct chart and the path, and even though they got the warnings from it. So judging by this, it can be said that they breached the duty of care. Because of that, the third party suffered this damage to the pipeline, and that's why the plaintiff got 125K because of this damage. And now I've stated the facts, and the conclusion will be talk about my brother. And thank you for listening to me. Thank you.
And in conclusion, we can say that Caltex also sued the Willemstedt dredging company because they're all using the same pipeline, and they had to pay the extra transport cost for the transporting the oil to the oil field. But the court has decided that as it is the economic loss, so it will not be covered in general law. So Caltex, they didn't get any money, and that's all our presentation today. Thanks for watching us.